Russell revealed why he is a better driver than Bottas. Valtteri Bottas signed to drive for Alfa Romeo last year, and his former Mercedes team already chose George Russell as his replacement. Bottas had a wonderful season last year with Mercedes, but is it time for George Russell to shine in the Mercedes car? Do you think he'd do well? Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and ring that notification bell to stay tuned to our channel. George Russell won the 2018 FIA Formula 2 champion for ART and was the 2017 GP3 Series Champion. Following his Formula 2 championship win, Russell signed for Williams in 2019, making his debut at the 2019 Australian Grand Prix. Alongside Robert Kubica, Russell will drive for Mercedes for the 2022 season, although he stood in for Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes at the 2020 Sakhir Grand Prix. Russell achieved his first F1 podium with Williams at the 2021 Belgian Grand Prix. He is also a part of the Mercedes Young Driver program. Russell began karting in 2006 and then progressed through to the cadets class by 2009, becoming MSA British Champion and British Open Champion. In 2010, he moved to the Rotax Mini Max category, where he became Super 1 British Champion, Formula Kart Stars British Champion, and also won the Kartmasters British Grand Prix. Russell graduated to the KF3 class in 2011, winning the SCUSA Super Nationals title and becoming CIK FIA European Champion, a title he successfully defended in 2012. He picked up many more wins till the FIA Formula 2 Championship. In January 2018, Russell was confirmed as a driver for ART Grand Prix for the 2018 FI2 Formula 2 Championship, which would see the new Dallara F2 2018 make its debut in the expanding 12-race calendar. Russell graduated to Formula 3 in 2015, racing in the FIA European Formula 3 Championship with Carlin. He took his first race victory in the opening round of the season at Silverstone, finishing ahead of fellow debutant Charles Leclerc and Antonio Giovinazzi in the second race of the weekend. He took a further 2 podium places at Spa-Francorchamps and the Nürburgring to finish 6th in the championship. He also finished as runner-up to Leclerc in the Rookie Championship standings. In 2014, Russell had competed in the BRDC Formula 4 Championship with defending champions Lannan Racing. Russell entered the final race of the season at Snetterton in a 4-way title battle with teammate Arjun Maini and the HHC Motorsport pairing of Sinan Fielding and Raoul Hyman. After starting from pole position, Russell won the race, his 5th of the season, to clinch the title by just 3 points from Maini. As a prize for winning the BRDC Formula 4 Championship, Russell tested a GP3 car with Arden Motorsport at the Yas Marina in Abu Dhabi. In December 2014, Russell became the youngest ever winner of the prestigious McLaren Autosport BRDC award, beating fellow finalist Alexandra Albon, Ben Barnicoat, Sinan Fielding, Seb Morris and Harrison Scott to earn himself a £100,000 cash prize, British Racing Drivers Club membership, and a Formula 1 test with McLaren. In 2015, Russell was announced as one of the 12 drivers selected to join the British Racing Drivers Club's Superstars program, the youngest ever recruit to the scheme. Ever since Russell took F1's feeder series by storm, his card was marked for a rise to the top. And as a Mercedes junior driver, he made a clear route to the very front of the grid. For the past 3 years, Russell has served an apprenticeship at the Mercedes-powered Williams team, at the back of the grid. During that time, it has become increasingly clear that he is ready to race with a top team, and with Bottas's results and age counting against him. Russell's performance as a substitute for Hamilton at the Sakhir Grand Prix last year, in which he would have taken victory had it not been for a mix-up of tyres in a pit stop and a puncture thereafter, made it clear he was ready. Further proof of his talent came during the remarkable run of qualifying sessions for Williams this year, with 3 Q3 appearances and just 1 Q1 knockout from 13 qualifyings, with the clear highlight being his remarkable second grid position. That translated to a second-place finish at the rain-affected Belgian Grand Prix. Bottas, on the other hand, used to be a valuable member of the Mercedes team for the past 5 years. but unfortunately not an irreplaceable member. He got his big break with Mercedes when Nico Rosberg unexpectedly bowed out after winning the 2016 World Championship. Russell was drafted to partner Hamilton, giving him the opportunity all drivers in Formula One want: a shot in the best car on the grid. Bottas did all he could to seize the opportunity, but it pitched him against the greatest driver of a generation in Hamilton. In 4.5 seasons, he has undoubtedly contributed to Mercedes' dominance of Formula One, but has always played second fiddle to Hamilton. Since joining at the start of 2017, he has signed a one-year deal, which left him with questions about his future each summer. Had he been given a contract longer than a single year, there's an argument that he may have built a more solid platform for title success. But in Formula One, results are currency, and Bottas wasn't able to secure consistently enough wins to earn him a multi-year deal. 9 wins from 92 starts at Mercedes isn't awful, but it pales into comparison with Hamilton's 46 in the same period. There's no doubt that on his day, Bottas can set a quicker qualifying time than Hamilton, or even beat him to a race victory in a straight fight. But there's very little evidence that he can do it consistently enough to mount a title challenge. The first half of the 2021 season backs that theory up, as Hamilton raised his game to meet the challenge from Max Verstappen in the 2021 title fight. Bottas slipped further back. It's not a bad situation for Mercedes, as Bottas is still in the mix enough to play a beneficial role in race strategy from time to time. But over the 13 races so far, he has already dropped nearly 100 points to Hamilton. He has outscored his opposite number at Red Bull, Sergio Perez, but only just. But that doesn't mean Mercedes' decision to replace Bottas was straightforward. By sticking with Bottas in 2022, Mercedes would have retained the inner harmony that has become a defining factor in one of the most successful F1 teams of all time. Russell's talent threatens to disrupt that harmony, as he comes to the team with the skills and ambition to pose an internal threat to Hamilton in what could be the final 2 years of the 7-time champion's career. Upsetting your existing driver is a risk, but ultimately the decision rested on what was best for the long-term future of the team, not Lewis Hamilton. Formula One has entered a new era with the new set of technical regulations. Hamilton has committed to 2 more seasons with Mercedes, but beyond that there is no guarantee he will stay in F1. As he said ahead of the Dutch Grand Prix last Thursday, Russell, who is 13 years his junior, is the future, and Mercedes could no longer ignore that fact. Therefore, delaying Russell's promotion for another year would have made little sense. Bottas had his chance to prove himself as a worthy successor to Hamilton, but ultimately fell short. Meanwhile, Mercedes' main rivals for 2022, Red Bull and Ferrari, have young drivers in Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc, who already have experience racing at the front of the grid. Russell is from that same generation, and during his 3 years at Williams, he has shown a similar level of potential. There is no doubt that he will push Hamilton harder than Bottas, which is something Mercedes will have to manage carefully. But Hamilton has always said he doesn't mind who his teammate is. That statement will be put to the test by Russell next year. But running 2 of the best drivers on the grid is always a nice problem to have. And with Hamilton's retirement looming, or any short-term pain in team harmony will be worth it for the long-term gain of getting Russell up to speed. While it may cause Mercedes some headaches, for those watching on the outside it will be fascinating to watch. F1 is always at its best when the top teams are filled with the top drivers, and in Russell and Hamilton, Mercedes will have the perfect mix of youth and experience. Possibly the best of 2 generations of drivers in equal machinery at the start of a new era in the sport. For Bottas, Alfa Romeo was the best option left on the table. Even if he fell short of challenging for the title during his time at Mercedes, the 32-year-old still deserves a place in F1, and he represents a very safe and experienced pair of hands for a team looking to move up the grid under F1's new rule set. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and share the video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.